I got it.
We live in 3 seconds.
Already live.
Oh, we are already live. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Virtual Bedtime Stories with Burst into Books, hosted today by myself, Nubia Henderson.
As mom.
That's my character for today. And my daughter,
Cleopatra.
Zahara as Cleopatra.
I am not Zahara. I am Cleopatra.
All right. So we're going to read for you today 3 different stories, but we're going to start off with one that's related to the theme of the day for Halloween. So Zahara got this cool book from the library, and it is called
Fear this book.
Okay, move it over. All right. So we're going to read Fear This Book. I'm going to start us off, and then Zahara is going to read the other book. All right. So
what other book? Oh, right.
Yes. So this book is actually really cool because it has a lot of fun facts, right, about our body in relation to typically scary words like boo. All right. So, boo. How's your heart? Blood pumping a mile a minute. Do you throw the book down in terror at the sight of this page? Are you only now reading these words after retrieving your book from the floor? Startles are often associated with fear, although they're reactions, while fear is an emotion. Shocking, isn't it? So, they're talking about your amygdala, this big area of the brain inside your skull.
I have a small, beautiful,
because my head is bigger.
Out.
So why does boo scare you? It's all in your head. Let's say you could flip open your skull and probe around in your spongy, slimy brain. You'd come across an almond-shaped bit, your amygdala. That's a big word, amygdala. And here's what it looks like. Right? Where's my finger? It's so weird, like on camera, things are backwards, but point to it for me, Z. Amygdala. Point to the word amygdala for me. The word amygdala. I know it is so funny. All right, there's the word, guys. All right. So,
just go ahead and crack the whole
one
book.
of the amygdala's jobs is to connect your emotions to your memories.
You have 2 of them.
And say you've been afraid of spiders since one walked across your leg. And when you see a spider again, the amygdala connects back to that stored memory. And when you see something scary, your amygdala sends a signal to your body to be ready to react in danger. So if you hear a boo, right, you get scared.
That did not scare me.
Boo! It does this a few thousandths of a second, so super fast. Things get really interesting, all right? So, as you can imagine, we're going to turn the page to find out what happens. Ooh, this is kind of cool. All right.
That is really gross.
So,
Mom, it's right here.
Thank you. So, we're talking about now with your amygdala, fright, and this young man is doing flight. This is so cool because this is also
flight or fight with all your might. Still scared? There, my mom takes it over.
Well, I was going to say you can read because then I can hold it and you can point to everything. I'll read this part and you can read each one. We'll alternate. Move over so people can see. All right. Still scared? Is your heart pounding? Are your palms nice and sweaty? Making a mess of these pages, good. Now it's time to read on and learn about what's going on underneath your skin when you're full of fear. All right. So Z's going to start here with the kidneys. So make sure you turn to the side so they can see and point. What's happening with our kidneys? The kidneys. Look at it and I'll read. That's good.
Okay. Kidneys.
Your adrenal glands are located on your kidneys.
When they get a message from your
amygdala,
C brain,
which is your brain.
The adrenal glands release the chemicals adrenal and noradrenal.
Very good.
To your bloodstream. These make you super alert and get your body prepared to meet the oncoming minutes.
Awesome. All right, then you sweat, okay? You'll do a lot of this when you're scared. Sweat keeps your skin nice.
No, I want to do it.
Can we work together?
Okay, you can.
Can we work together? That's what we're doing.
Okay.
All right, so sweat keeps your skin nice and slippery, so enemies may have a hard time latching onto you. As your sweat evaporates, it will keep your body cool. All right, so think about sweaty palms. What about sweaty feet?
Ooh,
so your socks, right? Your socks are getting all the grime and germs.
Your socks smell
We're
awful.
just going to read the muscle.
Really, you ought to change them sometime. Muscles. Your muscles tense so you're frozen in place. Your tense muscles are ready for you to run in the flight response or stay faced with danger, the fight response. Ooh. Okay.
All right, so your bladder and your colon. The bladder and the colon produce and store where you have to go to the bathroom,
right? Your pee-pee.
And your poop. In times of trouble, they get ready to get rid of whatever is inside your belly to prepare you for violent action or injury, right? So if you've got to be prepared, they want to make sure you don't have anything extra. Liver starts to break down. Zizi, scoot over so people can see. Okay, go ahead, liver.
Liver starts to break down
glycogen,
an energy storing chemical into a raw sugar called glucose to give you an energy boost.
Okay, read another one.
Stomach. The activity in your stomach slows to a standstill.
Lungs.
Now that you're terrified, you don't have time to digest your food. Seriously, stop eating. Ha!
Lungs. The air passages in your lungs expand, allowing you to take in more air. The oxygen from the air will help your muscles flex and move you where you need to be moved.
Skin. You go pale because the blood vessels constrict as the blood is diverted away from the skin and to the heart, your skeletal muscles, where you get pumped for some physical exertion.
Exertion.
Okay.
You want to do the heart?
Yes. Heart. Thump, thump, thump. What is that? You can say it in the comments. Okay. Anyways, your heart beats like a kettle drum, pumping the blood faster and faster. The only way you can get blood to the much needed body parts, like your brain and your muscles, some of your biggest muscle.
All right, so saliva, that's your spit.
Your spitty spit, which is this gross thing right here.
Coming out of his mouth.
See it? It's like,
so you'll make less of this as your digestive system starts to slow down. And what's this one?
Oh no. Eyes. The pupils in your eyes.
You have to turn around.
Delight. It's bigger. To let more light in. Like a witch.
And this helps you to see.
Drinks.
danger better, even if you don't want to. Okay, what's next?
Brain.
Turn around so I can see
Remember
your
your
amygdala.
amygdala. Okay. Write this word down so you don't forget it. And also write the syllables. And also put in the comments how many syllables you think there are, okay? And please use complete sentences. I just don't want some numbers. I want complete sentences. Like there are
This is story
3.
time. The brain, ma'am.
The
They can see you.
brain, amygdala. See page 7. It helps you recognize dangers by sending an alarm message. With help from another part of the brain, the
Hypothalamus.
Also put how many syllables you think there are and complete sentences.
All right, the last one.
To all the parts of your body that react to a scary experience.
Last one. So your hair. The hair is turned around so everybody can see all over your body. You like to stand up when you're afraid.
Me.
Back when we were hairy cave folk, all that raised hair would have made us look bigger and scarier. Okay? So that is about your amygdala, and that is about what happens in our brain and body when we are afraid, right? How that works. So we're going to read our next book. We're just going to read a portion of it, and Z is going to start. This is actually a chapter book. Exactly. And what is this book called, Zahara?
Strange Scout Tale. How to Merit Monsters.
How to Merit in Monsters. This is like a campfire read. Yeah. So Zahara is going to read. She's going to give you a preview of one of the chapters, and then she's going to read one of the chapters, and then maybe you can check it out. All right. Okay. So tell us about the chapter that you're going to read.
Okay. So the chapter is called Going Toe to Toe. It's about this boy named.
Look at the people.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to find the name.
Okay, if you don't know his name, let's move on because people are watching.
Big Slincy, because he hates camping. But in this story, he starts to enjoy it more and more as he's there. So one day, their scout leader and everybody else is gone, and his scout leader. Okay, anyways, they're gone. So his friend Troop D go to find them. And when they do, they find Bigfoot, who is a giant, tall monster.
Okay, and this is the story. You got to tell them. You're going to pick it up, the chapter. Okay, so this chapter is called Going Toe to Toe. And so here you go. He's going to read.
It was one thing to talk about searching for Walter in these lonely mountain woods, but another to actually do it. The 4 of us were exactly what you called master trackers. Fortunately, we didn't have to because it wasn't long before we stumbled across a trail that was impossible to miss. There were footprints in the soggy forest floor. Big footprints. Like the one I see outside Troop C's cabin. Only these led deeper into the forest. Whoa, said Manuel, placing his own foot inside one of the prints. Some raccoon, huh? But no sooner had Manuel stepped into a footprint.
Read the book and show the picture.
When we heard nearby cries for help, we broke through the trees, expecting to find Walter, hurt in danger. Instead, we found Scoutmaster Spitzer trapped atop a lone tree perched on a cliff. One side of the tree ended in a steepy drop. Another was a giant hairy beast. He shook the tree as he roared. Bigfoot was real, all right. And boy, did he look mad.
Show the picture.
Oops.
Okay, turn the page.
Bigfoot let out an enormous belch as he rubbed its stomach. See, Ginger calls the Spitzer. That's no burping moose. Ginger, I said, I don't think Spitzer cares about them right now. The tiny girl shrugged. When I'm right, is all. What do we do?
I can't see your face.
If Bigfoot keeps shaking that tree, Spitzer might fall over the cliff. He's right. We need to act fast. I reached into my backpack to see if I had some food or something we can lure Bigfoot away with. But I found the old handbook instead. I have forgotten all about it. Ew, said Asma as she watched me flip through the moldy pages. What is that? The Scout handbook, the original one, I think. Look, I'll explain later. I was hoping the handbook had
some useful advice.
Some useful advice on dealing with gassy monsters. I flipped through the chapter on Bigfoot and skimmed the page. Habitat avoidance too late. Care of. Here's something I said. An extremely agitated Bigfoot can be calmed down by the presence of others of its kind. I looked up. Anyone see any more big feet around here? Nope, said everyone. Okay. Thought so. Okay, so it says that the absence of an additional big feet, a simple Bigfoot call will sometimes calm the creature and gives instructions on making the call.
I'll get you some water. Slow down.
Right here.
Hold up.
Manuel looks complicated. Manuel leaned over my shoulder. Nah, it's just like following directions, dude. Like cracking a new game. Let me try. He read over.
Water break really quick. He read over the page, mumbling to himself as he bent his fingers into a crazy knot. Let's see. Then you hold him up and blow like this. Manuel blew into his fingers. Aruga! Whoa! It really sounded like a Bigfoot. Bigfoot must have thought so too, because he stopped shaking the tree and listened. Do it again, I whispered. Manuel put his hands to his lips. Aruga!
Aruga!
This time, he definitely got Bigfoot's attention. Guys, said Asma, he's coming this way. What are we going to do now? Asked Manuel. Well, I guess we'll just have to find out. So check out Strange Scout Tales, How to Merit in Monsters, Volume 1.
Volume 2 is right here. If you already have finished, Volume 1, go to Volume 2. Strange Scout Tales.
Okay, so those were two selections.
The Loch Ness and Loch Ness.
Do you want to read one more?
Yes.
So we have a classic Berenstain Bear book too. It has 5 stories in one. So I'm going to let ZZ pick which one. My favorite is The Messy Room. I had that book when I was a kid. Let's see what we're going to read. Are you ready? Or you want me to read it?
You read it.
Okay. You going to put the book in there? All right. So, friends, this is the Berenstein Bears. I'm going to get my coordination together with this camera at some point. And we're going to read The Messy Room. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So for all those who still need a little help with organization, this is for you. When small bears forget to pick up, store, and stash some of their favorite things might end up in the trash. I know I have borrowed that line or two. From the outside, let's see, can you scoot? We'll put the book titles in when we finish.
Mama,
What are you trying to do?
I'm tipping my hand.
Okay, from the outside, the bear's treehouse, which stood beside a sunny dirt road deep in bear country, looked very neat and well kept. The flower beds sparkled with red, yellow, and blue tulips. Let's scoot over so they can see. Can you see how it looks? It's a beautiful little house they have, right?
Yeah, and this bear built it by hand. Oh wait,
It's Papa Bear.
yeah.
The woodwork was freshly
dang it.
painted
It's him.
and in
No, not
good repair. Thank you. I can't see.
It
The
was
grass
Papa
was
Bear.
cut. The grass was cut, and the vegetable patch was properly weeded. Even the bird's nest that perched on one of the tree house branches was well trimmed. Okay, let's do that later so that we can focus. Okay, so this is what their home looked like. The inside of the bear's treehouse, was neat and clean too. The pictures were straight, the piano was dusted, and Miss Nubia cannot see if I don't look directly at this page. The kitchen was spick and span. Even the basement was neat and clean. And if you think it's easy to keep a treehouse basement neat and clean, well, you've never tried to do it. Yes, the bear's treehouse was a lesson in neatness and cleanliness, except for one place. Brother Bear and Sister Bear's room. It was a mess. A dust catching, wall to wall, helter skelter mess. Oh, now, if a child's dirty room is not scary, I don't know what is. A half done jigsaw puzzle gathered dust in one corner of the room. A group of brothers' dinosaur models collected cobwebs in another. Sister stuffed animals were everywhere. Want to read the next page? As for the Cubs, thank you so much. What about the author? As for the Cubs' big storage closet, well, just be careful how you open it. And you got to put volume 1. It wasn't that Brother and Sister Bear were naturally messy. They tried to keep their room straight. They made their beds most of the time. And they swept and picked up once in a while. Right? See, this is them putting in their good effort. Let's do that at the end, okay? So that they can see the pages of the book. The trouble was that when cleanup time came, they spent more time arguing than cleaning. How am I supposed to sweep with your dumb dinosaur toys all over the floor? Argued Sister. They're not toys, they're models. And don't move them. I'm working on a setup of the Pleistocene age, Brother protested. Pleistocene, schmeistocene, shouted Sister. Not only was Brother and Sister's room a mess, but Brother and Sister were getting to be a mess, too. Always arguing about cleaning up chores instead of sharing the job and working as a team. What usually happened was that while the Cubs argued about whose turn it was to do what, Mama took the broom and did the sweeping herself. And she often did the picking up too. That was the worst part. the picking up and putting away. So see, this is brother and sister bear arguing, and mama is tired cleaning up and putting away the toys. Well, the mess just seemed to build up and build up until one day, maybe it was because mama's back was a little stiff, or maybe it was stepping on brother's airplane cement, or maybe she was just fed up with the messy room. But whatever it was, Mama Bear lost her temper. She stormed into the cubs' room with a big box. Mama Bear had it. The first thing we have to do, she said, is get rid of all this junk. Junk, said brother and sister bear, watching in horror as Mama began to throw things in the box. My teddy isn't junk, screamed sister. My bird's nest collection isn't junk, yelled brother bear at the top of his lungs. The screaming and the yelling got so loud that it reached Papa Bear in the shed. He was in his workshop putting the finishing touches on a batch of chairs that had been ordered by one of his customers. He couldn't imagine what was wrong. He hurried upstairs and looked into the messy, noisy room. It didn't take a deep thinker to figure out what was going on. Look at Mama. She's like, these toys have had their days numbered. Quiet! Papa got Mama's and the cubs' attention and called a family meeting right then and there. Now, the mess has really built up in this room, he said. In fact, it's the worst case of messy buildup I've ever seen. And it isn't fair. It isn't fair to your mama and me because we have a lot of other things to take care of. And it isn't fair to you because you really can't have fun or relax in a room that's such a terrible mess. Papa Bear is sounding a lot like Mama Nubia. Oh my goodness. So
because
you sit
you
down.
are Papa Bear.
But Mama is putting all my things in that box. Even my teddy, said sister. And my things too, cried brother. Then Papa got an idea. A box, yes. Better yet, a lot of different boxes. A big toy box for your large toys. I can make one for you in my shop. And some smaller boxes for your collections and models. And how about one of those boards with holes and pegs to hang things on, asked sister. A pegboard, said Papa. Great idea. All this room needs is a little organization. Would you like to read the rest?
Yes, because I am Zahara reader as Cleopatra, and Cleopatra reads everything.
A little organization and a few rules, Mama added. Rules about sweeping and less arguing and not leaving things to gather dust and cobwebs.
Papa set to work making a fine toy box and a large pegboard, while the cubs and Mama sorted out toys and then toys, books, and games and puzzles, and put them into boxes that fit neatly into the closet. Every box was clearly labeled. Clearly. So don't be like, what's this? What's that? Some of the cubs did end up in Mama's things, did end up in Mama's big throwaway box. Not Sister's teddy, of course. Some of Brother's bird's nest and the crumbling, falling apart ones. It was a very...
Can you have a seat?
I can't see. It was a very big job cleaning up all that messy buildup. But after a lot of straightening up and putting away, the job was finally finished. Wow, said Brother, that's quite a job, but it was worth it. It looks like a whole new room, said Sister. The cubs were right.
So this is the progress. Move your hands so that they can see. Move your hands so that they can see.
And you're missing a part. Mm-hmm. You see the now. Okay, now mommy. Okay, I'll read it. And Papa had been right too. It was so much enjoyable to live in a neat, clean, well-organized room.
Neat, clean, and well-organized room, and so much more relaxing. It wasn't as exciting to open the big storage closet now, but it was much more practical and a lot more fun. So, the last book that we read was The Big Book of Berenstain Bears, and the rest of our family is home, so Zahara went to go and greet them. But hope you enjoyed story time. Hope you have a great restful night, and I'm going to put this title in the chat box. It's one of my favorites as a child, so I love that they put them in a big collection of stories. And you hear Zahara having the time of her life. And she's back. You want to tell everybody bye?